Hello friends, welcome to Shiksharthi. Today's our topic is indices. If you are dealing with powers or exponents, it is called indices. Okay? So if you basically see a to the power of n, a is a base, n is power or exponent. So if you are dealing with powers, then it is called indices. So there are certain laws of indices that we'll discuss. First one, a to the power of n means a into a for n times. N times. That means a cube means a into a. We have to multiply a for 3 times. When I say a to the power of 5, a will be multiplied for 5 times. A into a for 5 times. And it goes on like that. Okay, so a to the power of n is the first property. Second one, when I say a to the power of 0, it is always equal to 1. Power 0, irrespective of the base, the value will be always 1. Third point here will be a to the power of m into a to the power of n, which is equals to a to the power of m plus n. Fourth one is a to the power of m by a to the power of n is equal to a to the power of m minus n. Fifth point is a to the power of m whole to the power of n is equal to a to the power of m into n. Now if you observe the rules here, same base is required. Here numerator and denominator have the same base, then these properties will work. Now further in continuation of this, sixth one, ab whole to the power of m is a to the power of m, b to the power of m you have. Seventh one, a upon b whole to the power of m is equal to a to the power of m upon b to the power of m you have. Eighth one will be a to the power of n is also taken as a to the power of minus n. Now this property, if you observe, positive power becomes negative, negative power becomes positive when you take a reciprocal of it. Okay, when you send it to denominator in simple words. Ninth one, if you have a condition a to the power of n is equals to p, then sending n as a power to the other side will be a is equal to p to the power of 1 by n. So what exactly the change has happened here? The power n, when it goes to the other side, then it becomes 1 by n. So that means it gets reciprocal. So if the power is 2, it becomes 1 by 2. If the power is 3, it becomes 1 by 3. So in that way, the powers have a changes. 10th one, if you have a condition a to the power of m upon n is equal to p, then you will find a is equals to p to the power of n by m. The same thing like previous 9th point, but this in case of a fraction given to us, that fraction will get reciprocal. So these are the 10 laws of indices. Also, we need to know some laws of square roots or some n order roots here, for example. For example, the first one, when I say square root of a, by default it will be 2 over here. By default it will be 2. We call it as square root. And the power notation of the same will be equivalent to 1 by 2 here in this case. When I say cube root of a, it is equal to a to the power of 1 by 3. When I say nth root of a, it is a to the power of 1 by n is what you get here. So this is the main property. How do we read this, friends? This is called nth order root of a. Nth order. Like 4th order, 5th order, 3rd order, 2nd order. 2nd order is called square root. So you can see, if you convert the same into power notation, it is taken as 1 by n. Okay. Next one. If you have something called square root of a, to cancel square root, the power have to be 2. So what exactly it happens here is a to the power of 2 whole to the power of 1 by 2. Now we just saw square root can be written as 1 by 2. So here I am taking square root as 1 by 2. So here 2 and 2 gets cancelled, you get the value as a. Similarly, cube root of a, I can cancel when the power is 3. Okay, so this will be equal to how much? A again. And nth root of a will be called as. So next, if you observe here, this nth root of square root of nth root we can cancel when the power is n, and the result will be a. Next one, after that, when you multiply square root with square root, you cannot multiply a square root with cube root directly. You cannot multiply cube root with any other order root directly. So square root and square root we can directly multiply, cube root and cube root we can directly multiply, and then it results to be square root of AB. Similarly, cube root of A into cube root of B can be taken as cube root of AB, and overall if I say nth root of A into nth root of B will be nth root of AB is finally what you get here. Okay, that's a rule. Next, if I divide square root with square root, I'll get overall A upon B here, overall square root of A upon B. Similarly, cube root of A, if I divide with cube root of B, then it is cube root of AB what I get. And the final one here, nth root of A, if I divide with nth root of B, then it is nth root of A upon B is what you get. Okay, so this is another one. So you can see there I wrote till now 4 extra points about square roots. There is one more point. If you have nth root of mth root of A can be written as n into mth root of A can be further written as m into nth root of A. So what I am finding here, I can interchange the roots, I can multiply them as a single unit, or you can see m and n's position can be changed. So this is another rule which we can say. So overall there are 5 extra points which I need to learn, and that will help you to understand square roots and deal with square roots, cube roots, or any root orders here. Okay, so you can make a note of these points, friends, and let us see next what we can understand here. The overall indices works on two rules. Rule number 1 and rule number 2, which is very much helpful for solving the problems in indices. So what is rule number 1? Hashtag rule number 1 if I take here. So what is the rule? If you have a to the power of m is equal to a to the power of n. I guess some of you people started thinking about it, and if given a condition a to the power of m is equal to a to the power of n, I know most of the people will say m is equal to n. And believe me guys, you're not wrong, but for few values of a, this will not work. I'll explain what is it. See here, if I take a condition minus 1 to the power of 3 is equal to minus 1 to the power of 5 if I say. Now technically minus 1 to the power of 3, power is an odd number, minus 1, and minus 1 to the power of 5, power is an odd number, again minus 1. Minus 1 is equal to minus 1. But if you satisfy this in this manner, can you say 3 is equal to 5? Is it correct if I say 3 is equal to 5? No. Next one, 0 square is equal to 0 cube. Both are equal to 0. Can you say 2 is equal to 3? No. Again, 1 to the power of 5 is equal to 1 to the power of 6. Can you say 5 and 6 both are equal? No. Now if you observe in these three cases, this rule will fail and you cannot say m is equal to n. So what I need to remember while writing this rule or while using this rule, I should always say a is not equal to minus 1, 0 or 1. That means base value cannot be equal to minus 1, 0 or 1. That's we need to know it here. Okay. Next one. Rule number 2, friends. Hashtag rule number 2. And given condition that if a to the power of m is equal to b to the power of n. A to the power of m is equal to b to the power of m. And again, I think you are ready to say then a is equals to b is what normally think. Yes or no? Now here this condition will terribly fail if I say 2 to the power of 0 is equal to 3 to the power of 0. This point if you observe. 2 power 0 is 1, 3 power 0 is also 1, but you cannot say 2 is equal to 3. So here the most important point or a note which you can take it here is m cannot be equal to 0. It's very important. And again there are two cases, friends. The power depends, like if the power is an even number, if the power is an odd number, there can be two different outcomes or two different possibilities. Let us come. See, if your m value is odd, if I take for example, odd, then you can directly say a is equals to b is what you get. Example, x cube is equals to 8, x will be equal to plus 2. And if you say x cube is equal to minus 8, the value of x will be minus 2. Now because of the odd powers, we all understand negative remains negative, positive remains positive. This is what we see. Okay. So when you see case number 2, if you say m is an even number, then you get a is equals to, any guesses? A is equals to plus or minus b. Example, if you take x square is equal to 16, then x value will be plus or minus 4 is what you get here. So please understand, when n is even, there is a different output. When there is m is odd, you get a different output over there. Okay, so these are the two rules in comparison of basis to basis and powers to power we can do, and this will be most useful while doing the problems in indices. Now next, if you see, there is one system which is also very useful, or many times you find questions based on that system. That is, if I have a question something like this, 2 to the power of 3, power 1, 2, 3, something like this. If you arrange powers like this is called ladder power system. Or if you find a question of this type, it is called actually ladder power system. And like a ladder, we need to simplify this. For example, first I'll start with 2 power 3, which is 8, then 1 power 8, then 3 power, then 2 power. That's a method. It should come down as a ladder. But if you observe, somewhere in the middle, most of these problems will have somewhere in the middle as 1. And 1 power anything is nothing but 1. So this is 2 power 3, which is ultimately 8. Okay. Simple. I'll get 2 more questions here. 2 power 3 minus 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have 2 power 3 minus 1, 3, 4, 5 kind of a questions. You can pause my video here and then check whether you can get these answers or not. Okay. So try these once again. You have the idea here. Try these. This is very important to understand the difference of these two cases. Okay. So now, let us see what is the difference. You all know, if I take minus 1 to the power of even number, then it becomes a plus 1, and minus 1 to the power of odd number will result in minus 1. We all know this. Now if you observe this thing here, the arrangement, it's 2 power 3 power 4, 2 power 3 power 4, and any power of 2 will be an even number. I don't want to know what value it will be, but definitely it will be an even number for sure. Am I right or wrong? Like 2 power 1 is 2, 2 power 2 is 4, 2 power 3 is 8, 2 power 4 is 16. So all that will give you even numbers. I can say 2 power anything will result in even number. So this minus 1 to the power of even number becomes a plus 1. So this is ultimately 2 power 3, and I'll get 8 for this as a value. Now coming to this, all of you, when you look at 3 power series, 3 powers, 3 power 1 is 3, 3 power 2 is 9, 3 power 3 is 27. You see odd number, power as odd number will result in minus 1. So this will be 2 power 3 power minus 1, and that is 2 power 1 by 3. Finally, cube root of 2 is what you get here in this case. Okay, so this is how the ladder power system can be handled. And then let us move on to some other questions under indices. Okay, so let us see some other questions under indices. Majorly, there will be 3 types of questions coming in indices. 3 types. So what are the 3 types, friends? One is simplify. Second one, solve for x. And the third one is comparison. The third one is comparison questions. These are the 3 types of questions. Okay, so let's see some examples on simplification. So simplify is the question. You'll find the question starting with simplify here. And let me give an example. 8 to the power of 0.3 into 8 to the power of 0.03 into 8 to the power of 0.003, so on up to infinity if you have. Then what will be the value of it? Okay, 8 to the power of 0.3, 8 to the power of 0.03. You see, bases are all same, and we know the rules. If the bases are same, we should add the powers. So this will be 8 to the power of 0.3 plus 0.03 plus 0.003 and so on up to infinity. There are 2 methods to handle this question. Okay, one using geometric progression, sum to infinity. When you know the first term is called as a and the common ratio between them will be taken. What is sum to infinity? Okay, under geometric progression, sum to infinity is a by 1 minus r, and here we have a value as 0.3, 1 minus r value for this. You know, r value is 0.03 by 0.3, which is equal to 0.1. So here r value is 0.1. Ultimately you'll get 0.3 upon 0.9, and this if you cancel, it is 1 by 3 you get. So finally, end of my question here, this is 1 by 3, 2 to the power of 3 whole power 1 by 3, 3 and 3 gets cancelled, final value is 2. So after you simplify the given expression, you got the value as 2. There is one more alternate method for the same problem here, and that will finish the problem in only one step. When we say bases are same, power should be added. When you add this, you'll get 8 to the power of 0.33333 and so on, which will be equal to 8 to the power of 1 by 3, and I see 8 to the power of 1 by 3 is finally resulting in 2. A cube root of 8 is 2. So in this way also we can handle the same question here in this case. Okay. So now let us move on to next question, all of you. Now coming to the next example, you can say this simplifies the question. You see, I gave 4 different examples, and all these 4 examples are mostly repeated questions in the exams. So let us see the first one here in this case. Root 30 plus root 30 plus root 30, so on up to infinity. You can see it is recurring till infinity. So this is root 30 for infinite number of times is given. So generally these kind of questions, how do we deal with? So we take the same question here, root 30 plus root 30 plus root 30 is equals to, up to infinity. Let us call it as x. Anything, any series which is repeated till infinite number of times, we call it as x. So can I write the same thing as 30 plus x is equals to x? The point to be noted is, if I just cover the first one, rest of the things are again taken up to x. So same thing I did. Squaring on both sides, it is 30 plus x is equal to x square. X square minus x minus 30 is equal to 0 is what you get. And then when you factorize it, you get 6, that is plus 6 and minus 5. Now since it is an under root value, it cannot be negative. My final answer would be a plus 6. There is an alternate method also for this. What is an alternate method? The alternate method is, since this number, if you observe 30, 30, 30, in this method when framing the question, the examiner takes care that the number taken is mostly a consecutive number product. Like 30 is a product of 2 consecutive numbers, 6 and 5. And you can see I got 6 and 5 as the roots here, but larger value will be positive. So in this case, 30 is split into 2 numbers, 6 and 5. Larger value is the answer, is the direct point to note. In case if it is a short answer question, then you can use this concept here. Now here in the second case, there is a minus sign in between. Again 20, as we can say it is 4 and 5, and plus 4 minus 5 will be the outcome of it here. Okay, so again under root value cannot be negative, smaller value is the answer. So we can use this as a 2 direct note points where we can use this always. This one, product of 2 consecutive numbers, larger value is the answer. This one, product of 2 consecutive numbers, smaller one is the answer for this. Okay, so these are the 2 direct points we can remember. Now coming to this one, all of you. Now if I take 80 into 80 into root 80 so on up to infinity as x, then root 80 into x will be x. Squaring on both sides, 80x is equal to x square. Square and x gets cancelled. My final answer is 80. So when I see these kind of questions, let us make a direct note out of this. 80, root 80, root 80, root 80. The final answer is 80. Root 10, root 10, root 10, root 10. The final answer is 10. Up to infinite terms if you have this. Okay. The next one, for this I'll take a direct point here. The question is root 3, root 3, root 3, so on up to 10 times is what we have here in this case, correct? And my question, if you have something like this, root a, root a, so on up to n times is the question. Then the answer for this is a to the power of 2 power n minus 1 by 2 power n. Using that as a reference, my final answer to this is 3 to the power of 2 power 10 minus 1 by 2 power 10, which is ultimately 3 to the power of 1023 by 1024 is my final answer. So simplify is what I do till now. Now the next concept will be on comparison and solving for x. That I'll take it on my next video. So till then, you please practice laws of indices, the rules, and followed by the questions on simplification. Okay? Thank you.